This is a coal miner having a bath. Well, having a shower. It's a replica of how they used to do it. And apparently this poor man has his willy stolen on a regular basis. People come in and take his willy as a souvenir. Sorry, old pal. This is Ashington in Northumberland. It's a coal mining area. And this is in memory, really, of the coal mining days. But there's an extraordinary thing happened here. In the 1930s, this pit and all the people in it were welcome to an opera society, a drama society, a general music society, workers' education, but painting. Wait till you see this. The painters did these descriptions of their lives. They have that lovely, naive quality that I love in painting. It really appeals to me, and that's the kind of art I have at home. I love that. There's a nice wee bit here, a thing I never heard of in my life. It's called progging the mat. They used to make mats out of old blankets and stuff. I think it was an old way of recycling in those old mining days there. And there's one here that you must see. It's called Fish and Chips. It's a fish and chip shop. But the lovely shadow effect he's got here of the people and the light shining from the shop onto the street, which is really very sophisticated indeed. And I love that because I can smell the fish and chips. They had amazing success with it. They exhibited all over Britain with the stuff. But one of the guys, Oliver Kilburn, was recognised above the rest. He has an entire exhibition all to himself. It's his entire life in the pit. And he's left this extraordinary legacy to us of what life was like down there. The reason they started to paint was to teach the miners self-expression, which seems a bit patronising and pompous to me, to teach them self-expression. But perhaps they thought, since they lived in the dark all day, that they didn't express themselves so well emotionally. So they got them to try and paint their feelings, and boy, the thing just exploded. The way things will when you give a guy a chance, you know? Given the chance, people tend to rise to the occasion. What do you do? Oh, you do that?
We do the proggy mats.
Progging. I was just talking about progging.
Yeah, we do that.
These are proggers.
Hookers as well.
Hookers. I'd like to introduce you to some hookers. So well, let's go and see you progging. Oh, they're great. Who did these?
We did them.
You did?
Our Salt Millennium project.
Up here at 1,000 to 1,050.
Ends up the first man on the moon.
I think you've done remarkably. I mean, I thought you would have like doormats and that. You know, I didn't think you would do.
Well, it's more like an art form now, you know.
You betcha.
Yeah, it was born of necessity to have something to put on the floor.
Aye.
One time, but now it's more like an art form.
God, I'm glad you dragged me in here.
Good.
Aye. And the wee licorice all sort man's lovely too.
His anniversary last year, 100-year-old.
100-year-old?
And they put him on a plinth in Trafalgar Square.
Oh my God, that's Bertie Bassett. Well, do you know what it became of pensionable age? Jelly babies.
Oh, Bassett.
Aye, so but I've never seen them. They made wee old people, and they're called jelliatrics. Now, there's many arguments as to why Newcastle people are called Geordies. And one of them is some nonsense about King George. Let me tell you. This is a Davy safety lamp, and the one that preceded that was a George Stephenson lamp, which the miners themselves called a Geordie. And after the rest of the mining people in Britain took up the Davy safety lamp, the Newcastle guys stuck to their Geordie, and the other miners called them Geordies. Mark my words. I know many things. guy was saying they used to have women down the mines working alongside the men in these wee seams, but as the guys would strip off because it got unbearably hot, the women did as well, and the Victorian mine owners thought this was decidedly not on, so they whipped them out of there. But the more you hear, the more horrified you become at that kind of thing. As we leave the northeast and head south, there's just one thing to show you. Along the lines of Superman and Supergirl, Marvel Man and all those guys. Superheroes. This guy doesn't say anything, and he doesn't fly, but he's a superhero. Papa! Angel of the North. The biggest sculpture in Britain. And it's the most popular sculpture by means of all these cars see it every day. One person a second, they reckon. When I see it, I wish I was still a welder. I'd love to have been a part of it. So what do you make of this? Look at the size of it. This was designed by Anthony Gormley. Built by many people, I should imagine. So it sits here, looking over that lovely country plain, looking after Newcastle. And you can touch it and feel it. It isn't in a case. It's brilliant. I'm so jolly. I'm so happy to be here. I've seen it so many times and I've never actually come up and touched it. But I have now.